Okay, welcome back, and I have a new example for you. And in this one, as you can see, we're going to be kind of moving the UCS all over the place a little bit. So just get prepared to do that beforehand. And before I actually get started on creating this in AutoCAD, I'm going to do some of the math and knock that out of the way so it'll make this video go a lot faster. So enough explaining, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so looking back here at the drawing, let's go ahead and figure out how far this is across. So in order to get to this big circle here, I see that I have a 3.5 and I have a 4.5. Those two numbers together will be 8. So when I need to get to this location, I'm just going to go ahead and make an 8 here on my screen. And I'm sorry, that's a bad looking 8. Let's see if I can make it a little bit better here by... Okay, so I know that distance is 8. What about this going to this circle? Well, that distance, I have to add that 8 plus the 23 here, and that's going to give me 31. So, and I know that number is 31. And with a little simple math, if I add 4 to get to this circle, that is 35. Okay, so that part I think I'm kind of done with. And once again, you got to forgive me for my letters here. All right, and another one that I'm kind of looking at is trying to figure out where this circle is. So I know it's 8 from here. How far is it down or up? Well, I know that it's 3 going down, and then I have a 9 going down, so that's 12. And then if I minus the 7 that's here, that should give me 5. So when it comes to drawing my X component, that number is going to be 5. So I think that's all the numbers that I'm going to need, and let's kind of do a little check over everything just to make sure that we are in the right here. So in order to create this circle, I'm going to put the UCS located here, and then from here I can go over 3.5 and down 4. That makes sense to me. If I want to create this circle, I can go over 8 and down 5. So far so good. This circle is at 31, down 3. And this last one is at 35, and then it's got an up 4. So now I have to figure out, where do I want to do with this one? And in this case, when I come to creating this circle here, what I'm going to do is I plan on moving my UCS here. And then that'll make things so much easier for me, because then I can either, nope, I take that back. I won't do it here. I'll move it to here. Reason being is that I do have that distance going all the way down here to it at 35, and I do have 4 going up. So please, disregard this here. We don't need that. So I'm going to put the UCS here, and that should take care of everything I need. So let's make sure if I can get to there. And then this final one is the location of this one. So I think I will, and now I guess I'll come back. I didn't need to erase that. And for the create this big circle here, I will need to move that UCS one more time just to make things easy. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in AutoCAD. And now that we got everything laid out, we should be able to do this rather quickly. All right, so in AutoCAD, the first things I like to do is always turn this grid off. I always check to make sure my dynamic input is on. That's going to save me some things to do here. And I'm going to take a look and make sure that my running O-snaps are set to the ones I like. And in this case, the main one that we need to have turned on is endpoint. So we don't have to worry about doing any midpoints or anything of that nature. But I'm just verifying that all that stuff is on. Once again, if you don't have your dynamic input turned on, or you don't have this icon, remember that you can hit the 3 bars here. And then you're going to go up on the fly up until you find dynamic input. And then you're going to put a check next to it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the line command. And we know the overall dimensions of this is 38 by 5. So I'll start the line. I'll click my first point. Once again, I see it kind of rubber banding. Let's go ahead and decide which one are we going to use. And in this case, everything is rectangular. So let's go ahead and click our ortho on. So as I'm going this direction, I'll type in 38.5. Enter. Kind of scroll back on your middle mouse wheel. I'll go up this direction, 17, enter. And now this is one of those snap tracking things. If you don't feel like typing things out, if I go and I touch this endpoint and then I go up, I'll see a green tracking mark, and that's going to line this thing back up. You can already see it's typing in at 38.5. Do a simple left click while those green lines are showing, and then C close. Now let's go ahead and move our UCS. So I'm going to select the UCS, go ahead and select the square, and then I'll place it on this endpoint. Let's go ahead and place our first circle now. So we're going to go up to circle, center diameter, and then I'm going to type in the absolute coordinates of this one, which is 3.5, comma, and remember that we're going down on the y-axis. That's going to be a -4. Enter, and then I'll type in the diameter of my circle, which in this case it will be 2. Okay, so next let me go ahead and type in my next coordinates. You can remove your hand from the mouse altogether because you won't need it for this next step. I'm just going to hit the enter button. You'll see that it takes me back to the last command, and then I'm going to type in that distance which I calculated earlier, which was 31, comma, and we're still going down, so that's going to be a -3. Enter, and that should place it in the right location. Don't worry about the circle being big or off your screen. Just hit the enter button one more time, since it does remember the last diameter that it needs. And let's take a look and see if there's anything else that we can do. We can do one more circle. So go ahead and hit the enter button. And now I'm going to type in how far I want to go over, which on the x-axis is 7.5, comma, and then we can calculate how far that other circle is, and that's going to be a -14. Enter, and then go ahead and hit the enter button again, so it'll accept that one. And then our last circle is kind of composed of somewhere differently. I can calculate it, but it's a lot easier for me to go ahead and move the UCS. So I'm going to select my UCS. And you know what? I'm not going to move it. I'll take that back. Go ahead and hit the escape button. Let's go ahead and do our big circles. What I was trying to accomplish is just knocking out all of my little circles. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this one since I already have the calculation for my other circle. So I'm going to go ahead and create this circle, center diameter. I already know how far it's over. It's going to be 8, comma, and I know how far to go down because we calculated this earlier. That was a -5. Enter. And now you can see on my command line it's asking me for a diameter. Go ahead and type your diameter for this one, which will be 4. All right, so I have knocked out 4 of my circles. Now I have 2 more to go. Let's go ahead and move this UCS. Go ahead and select it. Select the square. And then I'm going to put it at this endpoint. I'll go back to circle, center diameter. And now I'm going to go ahead and place my small circle, which is located over here. All right, that distance is still going to be 35, comma, and now I have to tell it how far to go up, which is 4. Enter, and then the diameter of that circle, which is back to the original one, which is 2. And now I have one more circle to create, and I'm going to go ahead and move my UCS one more time by selecting it. Select the square. Go ahead and place it at this endpoint. Let's go back and create a circle, center diameter. And now I'm going to kind of work backwards on this one. So it's a -8 on the x-axis, comma, and I want to go up a certain distance. And now that I look back at the drawing, I have to do a little extra calculation on this one. So instead of doing that, sorry for this mistake, go ahead and hit the escape button. It actually counts downward from the top. So I'm going to go ahead and move this UCS one more time. And once again, I do apologize. Go ahead and select that endpoint. Go ahead and create your circle center diameter. -8, comma, and now I can do the math and figure out that I'm going down a -12. Enter, and then give it its diameter, which in this case is 4. And like I always say, go ahead and make sure that you move your UCS backwards to the world coordinate system. All right, and this one is done. I'm sorry for a couple of little mistakes on going through that one, but this one has a lot of little things going back and forth through it. As you can see from the drawing here, the one that I kind of got mixed up on was not really this location. I know that I can go from this location because the numbers are straightforward. So I will apologize for that one. Take a look at the drawing and you can kind of make sure that you're getting all this stuff kind of or understanding where I'm coming from. And if this is kind of one of those type of videos that you want me to kind of do again, I do have a couple of more examples. So if you're not fully understanding this, just kind of work with me and understand the rectangular stuff. So remember that AutoCAD is nothing more than a big grid. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Like I say always, if you enjoy seeing this stuff, I got a lot more coming. And please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. And I did start a Patreon, which I will start uploading some other videos on this. If you want to see like me doing dimensioning and other things of that nature, you will see that on that account. All right, so I want to go ahead and thank you for watching. And I can't wait to do the next one. Bye-bye.